Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. So I shared my blue journal the other day and said that I'd come and do a quick tutorial when I'd finished the covers. As you can see, I've not quite finished, but I thought I'd come and do the tutorial because it's super easy and super quick and people have been asking for it, so I thought come and do the tutorial and then you can get cracking and do your own. So it's a very simple cardstock little mini album, and all you do is decorate it. You can adapt it. I'm going to show you the bare basics. Alright, so I did use 12 by 12 cardstock, a sheet of 12 by 12 and a sheet of A4. So the first thing you need to do, you need 3 pieces. Alright, I'd just like to say beforehand, this is not my design, it's not unique. I have written these sizes down from something I've watched and then adapted it further to suit myself. I will either have pinched it from my sister's scrapper or Cassie Kins, or I don't know who else might I have nicked it from. I don't know, it's not my unique idea, but I've expanded it, and that's what you do, yeah. So you pinch the idea, well, it's not pinching, it's inspiration, and then you adapt it and add your own twist. Okay, right, so the first one measures 5.5 by 9.5, so you cut that from 12 by 12 obviously. If you don't have 12 by 12, glue some extra paper cardstock together, it doesn't matter. So 5.5 by 9.25. Then you need a sheet which is 5.5 by 8.75. Okay, and then you need a piece which is 5.5 by 8.25. So each one's going down ½ an inch each time, and all of them are 5.5 inches tall, because that's how tall I want my journal. If you want it taller, expand that size. If you want it wider, expand that size. All right, so you're starting with 9.25, 8.75 and 8.25, so each one is ½ an inch bigger. So if you want to adapt it, you could make any journal any size you want. That's the bare basics. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score each one at 4 inches. So I'm going to turn it in there, I'm going to score it at 4. And then to make it easy for myself, I'm just going to turn it around and score it at 4 again. Alright, and that is giving me a gusset there, in case it's going to be like stack the deck. I think that's what they call it. It's giving me a gusset there of 1.25 inches. Alright, so that's the first page. Alright, let me find my second page. And then the second page we do the same, and this is why it's so easy. You just score at 4. There's no complicated measurements. You just take those initial first measurements and then you score each one on each side at 4, just turning it round. Alright, and on this instance you get in a 3/4 of an inch gusset. Alright, and then you take your smallest piece and you do the same again. You score at 4 and then just simply turn it around and score at 4. Alright, and that is now giving you, I think that's 1/4 of an inch. That is giving you, yep, 1/4 of an inch. Alright, so that's those. And then all you do, so if you miss the measurements, just rewind the video and slow motion it. Alright, because I'm not doing a blog post on this. So you just score those. If you want to round the corners, you can. Alright, I'm just going to do it really quickly. Score them all. Be a bit more careful on that one because it's a smaller increment. Make sure I'm in shot. I'm doing this super early in the morning and I'm chasing before the light comes through my window and makes it too pale. Right. And then obviously you start with the largest one. You glue the middle size and then you glue the smaller. Alright? So that you're stacking them up on top of each other. Super easy. And that is the bare basics, and you can then go away and adapt it. Alright? You can glue covers on, you can do what you want. But this is the very bare basics. So you just go like that and you aim for the middle. If you want to be pedantic, you can measure it. I don't bother. I just eyeball it. But just make sure that it's straight, that the edges meet up there. Just have a little look, make sure it's all nice and straight. You know, you can kind of gauge it. Then lift that up and press it. Alright, I do advise letting the glue dry in between each one so you don't end up with it all wonky and sliding about. Alright, and then you will get that layered effect for each page. And you've also got a 1/4 inch gusset between each page to be able to embellish. It's lovely and simple idea. If you just want to make a really quick little gift, quick little journal, insert for something else, a set of them. I've seen them made in sets and put in little boxes to look like bookshelves. There's loads and loads of ways you can adapt to this. This is why I love it, because it's super simple. Anybody can do it. It's just a bit of cardstock and the rest of it is just decorating. Nothing, you know, you don't have to build any complicated pages or any complicated flaps. However, what you can do is you can then adapt it. You can glue flaps on the top so they come down. You could do waterfalls, you can add pockets. You've got the bare basics, you can do what you want. And what I did was I did make some triple fold out pages. And how I made those, I got a piece of card, and I've done this twice. So I've only done one for the video because I haven't got enough card, if I'm honest. But but you do this twice, and you do one in the middle page on the left hand side, and then add one to the middle page on the right hand side. Alright, so this measures 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I've scored it, alright, and I'll say this slowly, at 3 7/8, okay, which is just slightly smaller than these pages. These pages are 4. That's 3 7/8, so it'll all fold in nicely. Alright, 3 7/8, 7 3/4, and 8. Okay, is it? 7 3/4. Let me just check that. It might not be right. Let me just check that. 3 7/8. Yeah. 3 7/8 there, and then 7 3/4 there. I beg your pardon. All right. Sorry, I got that wrong then. So it measures 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. You're scoring it at 3 7/8, and then 7 3/4. So that you've just got a small bit that you can fold over there, and you're going to use that to glue it on. Alright. Now if you find that when you're folding it, your pages are catching, just trim that there. And then what you do with this, you do one for each side. You just literally glue it on. It's up to you if you glue it on the top or if you glue it from underneath. I tend to just glue it on the top, me. So you just glue this to the edge of there, fold it over, make that join nice, and give it a press. And that will extend that page, alright, and you can do this as many times as you want. That will extend that page to doing that, alright. There's room there. If you find that this piece here catches when you're closing it, just get your trimmer before you decorate it and just trim a sliver off. Alright, it depends on the thickness of your card. But that's how you do that that triple one, with the triple page. And you just do one for each side. And then as for the rest of it, pockets are really easy. Let me quickly make you a pocket. So you grab a piece of scrap. These are some of the offcuts. All you do is grab a piece of scrap. Alright, your page is 4 inches. I think they're 4 inches. Let me just check. Yeah, the pages are 4 inches. So if you want a pocket, you want it to be 5 inch. Add an inch on because you're going to need to score it. So I want it. So the page is 4 inches. So I'm cutting my scrap to 5 inches. Alright, and then you cut it to whatever depth you want, making sure you add an extra 1/2 inch for the bottom for gluing on. So we'll have this at 3 1/2, just for an example. Alright, and then you score on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. It's really easy. This is all you have to do to make a pocket. So measure your page, add an inch. That's all you do, and then score each side at 1/2. Alright, so easy. And then score it, fold it, burnish it. Right, where's my scissors? Okay, and then you can also just grab a... You can just find one that's not huge. Where's my punch? I'll use this one. So then what you do is you just taper the edges so they don't peek out when you glue them on, and it's less bulk. And here I just literally kind of cut in kind of a curve. Just so that what you want is when those fold over, you don't want them to overlap. So if they're overlapping, just trim a bit more off. Alright, you don't want them overlapping when you fold them over that side. I'm not brilliant at doing it, so I just do it by eye, and then I just check it and trim some more off. Alright, so that it fits. Yep, and then what you can do is you add your decorative paper or whatever you want to do, then get some kind of punch and do a little doodah, and then you would just get some glue and glue it on. It's so easy to just make pockets, it's just ridiculous. I shouldn't even really be showing you, probably laughing at me. But I always think there might be somebody out there that's never done it before and doesn't know, so we can't assume everybody knows everything, can we? Alright, so then you glue that on there, give it a good press, and when your glue's dry, make sure it's not impinging on your score line there, and then when that's dry you've got a pocket. Alright, and that is the bare basics of how you make that little folder, and then all you've got to do is have awesome fun layering paper on it. Like I say, with the same principle that I've done on that one, you could do it there, and then you could have a flip down. You can do waterfalls. There's loads of videos. Go and have some fun. Create your own really simple little lockdown, we'll call it a lockdown journal. Go and have some fun and get practicing, and then you might move on to a bigger journal. These are really good if you don't want to, if you love the idea of journaling but you don't want to be overwhelmed with doing a big one. Just do a little one and then gift it to somebody. They'll love it. There you go. Have fun. See you soon. Bye.